Hi everyone, I'm Natalie, aka the Vegan Veteran. Appreciate it's been quite a while since I last posted. I could say I've been busy, and I have, but I don't know what stopped me posting, because I was busy before and I still managed to find time. I think, to be honest, maybe I've lost my confidence with this whole vlogging thing a little bit. Not for any reason I can really think of, but it's just, I don't know, it feels quite, it feels like quite a lot, I suppose, for someone like me to do who's not kind of got experience of any of this stuff. On the other hand, I mean, that is part of the reason I enjoyed doing it in the first place. I think it's quite nice as an adult to do something that you have absolutely no experience of at all, you know. So I've never done anything like this before. I've never done any kind of video editing or anything like that. So it is quite an interesting experience. So I'm gonna try again, and I think sort of try and post at least once a month or something. And I thought I would post about a couple of sort of updates, really, things that have been going on since I last posted. So one is, I thought I'd post about my pets, because we've had some changes. So on my Facebook page there's a picture of two black rabbits. One of them is Tallulah, who you can see here, and the other is our lovely rabbit Bugsy, who unfortunately passed away back in July. Tallulah got ill first, was very poorly. We put her on antibiotics, but Bugs sort of showed no sign of anything being wrong at all. And then just one night, it happened all very suddenly, and we were with him when he died, and it was, you know, it was as peaceful as it could be. And you know, we didn't have to take him to the vet or anything to be put down. Well, we didn't have time to take him to the vet or anything. But it was horrible. But I think what must have happened is that he must have got the illness as well, but his body just didn't fight it, so he didn't show any kind of symptoms. But he was always quite a poorly rabbit anyway. When we got him, we had to, I mean, I still use it now, we use like this kind of like wood pellet stuff instead of sawdust, because he was allergic to sawdust. And he was always poorly. I was always having to give him like critical care, which is like, for people who don't have rabbits, it's like this kind of powder that you mix with water and syringe feed them if they're not eating, because it's quite serious if rabbits don't eat, even if it's just for kind of a short period of time. So Tallulah was very poorly for a while. We think she's kind of on the mend now, but she's been through a lot, bless her. Haven't you, darling? And a couple of months after Bugs passed, we thought we'd better get another rabbit, who is over here. So this is Ginge, who's got his back to me at the moment. But he, we got him, yeah, like I say, a couple of months after Bugs passed. We got him from the RSPCA. So we're not sure exactly how old he is, but he's probably about a year. And you'll notice they're in separate cages. That's because we've had some trouble introducing them. Again, for people who haven't had rabbits, they're really funny little creatures. They really like to be with other rabbits. They like company, but they're also very territorial. Oh, out you come. So Tallulah sort of was quite friendly with Ginge, and we were quite hopeful because we'd introduced her to Bugs previously, but Ginge has been a bit a bit nasty when we've tried to introduce them. So we're still trying. We've sort of been back in touch with the RSPCA, and the lady there, who's like a expert on rabbit bonding, has kind of given us some tips and things. So we're still trying, but it might just be one of those things. You know, she said to us, you know, it's like people. Some people don't like other people, some rabbits don't like other rabbits, and I think Ginge might be one of those rabbits. So we're seeing how it goes. But I thought it might be worth just kind of reflecting generally on different sort of views on having pets as a vegan. Because in some sense, I suppose, you know, some vegans feel that having pets in itself isn't a very vegan thing to do, because you're kind of keeping an animal in captivity and using it for your own enjoyment. I think where a lot of vegans kind of land on it, and I've ended up in a similar place myself, is that you don't necessarily want to buy or feel comfortable buying animals, but, you know, from a breeder or whatever. Oh, we're on the move again. But you know, kind of rescuing animals feels okay. I've got to watch that he doesn't go near Tallulah. Oh, you want a nibbler, don't you? Come here then. Ginge. Oh. Come here. Okay. Anyway, I'll put you on Tallulah. Do you want a nibbler, darling? A nibbler? Yeah. So, yeah, so what was I saying? So where most vegans kind of land, and where I've kind of landed myself, is that you don't necessarily want to sort of add to the problem, but you know, sort of rehoming unwanted animals feels okay. So I would personally always choose to kind of rescue animals rather than you know, buy a puppy from a breeder or whatever. So, and then I suppose the other thing that can be quite tricky as a vegan is what you feed your animals. And I think that's kind of why it's nice to have rabbits, because that isn't a dilemma, because they're herbivores anyway. Where are you going? Nibbler? No, too excited for a nibbler. But yeah, so you sort of don't have that dilemma when you have rabbits. You can just feed them veg and their pellets and things, and they're happy. I do also have a cat, Deanie, and there's some, I mean, this splits vegans quite a lot, I think. You can get vegan cat food. You've been able to get vegan cat food for quite a few years. And some vegans, you know, feel like that's a really good thing to be doing. Others think it's kind of cruel because cats are carnivores and they're not really meant to have anything except meat in their diet. I must admit, I've not done a huge amount of research into it myself, partly because my cat has a medicated diet because of various problems that she has. So in some ways I've kind of been able to sort of remove myself from having that dilemma. I don't know whether, you know, in the future I would have cats again, but I do love cats, so I don't know. I'd have to give it some thought. I've actually recently started volunteering for the Cats Protection, but I can't foster cats because I have a cat, but I'm going to be doing the trap and release, you know, where you sort of catch ferals and neuter them to try and help with the problem of the feral populations getting out of hand, and sort of picking up cats that need rehoming and stuff. With dogs, I guess it's possibly a little bit simpler because dogs are like us, they're omnivores, so they're meant to have a certain amount of veg in their diet anyway. So again, it's not something I've done a huge amount of research into, but you know, maybe it's easier for people to believe that dogs could have a healthy vegan diet. And there is this thing that comes up on like Facebook and stuff every so often about, I don't think it's the world's oldest dog, but I think it's possibly the UK's oldest dog, or, you know, she lived to like 30 years or getting on for that, she had a vegan diet. But then, you know, that's a sample of one, so I don't know. Some people might feel like that doesn't have much credibility, but personally, I think probably you could have a dog have a healthy vegan diet. Wait, come away. So yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on in terms of our pets, and a bit of a you know, sum up of vegan views on pets generally. All right, darling. So I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I'm going to try and sort of post a bit more regularly, like at least once a month or something. I've got a few more things that I can tell you about. Joe and I have been doing this sort of, it's not a diet, I don't want to call it a diet, but we've been trying to be extra healthy for January because we felt so awful after Christmas, like I'm sure a lot of people did. So we've been trying to kind of avoid sugar, and we've not been on like a whole food eating thing, but we've tried to get as close to that as we reasonably can. And I must say I feel much better for it. I do feel quite good in myself at the moment, both kind of mentally and physically, and I do put it down to that. So maybe I'll do a few posts about some of the things that we've been eating and drinking, and what it's kind of, the benefits that it's had for us, I guess. So I hope you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you think. Please comment. Please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram now at Vegan Veteran UK. I am on Twitter as well, but I must admit I don't really use it, so it's probably best to contact me on Facebook or Insta. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.